Hey, what's good, BeBackGaming crew? Today we're diving into the eerie world of Eternity's Echo, Patient Zero. This indie horror FPS dropped on Steam, and it's got us investigating creepy anomalies at a gas station in Winona, Arizona. Is this game a hidden gem or a spooky misfire? Stick around for our full, non-sponsored review, no spoilers. Just straight up thoughts on gameplay, story, and vibes. Let's get into it. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new here. So, Eternity's Echo, Patient Zero, is a first-person horror thriller developed by an indie team, and it's all about Rayne Williams, a badass D.I.B agent sent to check out some weird stuff going down at a desolate gas station along Route 66. Think creepy vibes, supernatural enemies called dimensional visitors or devious, and a story-driven experience with a mix of action, puzzles, and exploration. It's tagged on Steam as a horror FPS with Metroidvania and survival horror elements, which is a wild combo. The game's got this retro-modern aesthetic, and the developers use tools like Cascadeur for some slick animations, which we'll talk about later. The premise hooked me right away. A lone agent, a creepy gas station, and invisible enemies. That's my kind of spooky, but does it deliver? Let's break it down. First up, gameplay. This is a first-person shooter at its core, but it's not your typical run and gun. You're playing as Rayne, and the game gives you freedom to tackle situations your way: stealth, action, or a mix of both. The standout feature is the invisible enemies, the DVS. These things are creepy, with unique behaviors like teleporting or ambushing you, and you'll need to use tools like UV lights to spot them. The UV mechanic is cool but can feel clunky at times, especially since the flashlight turns off after interactions, which some players have noted in feedback. The combat feels intense, especially when you're low on ammo, and the survival horror vibe kicks in hard. You've got puzzles, too, which range from finding keys to decoding environmental clues. They're not Resident Evil level brain teasers, but they keep things engaging. The Echoes mechanic is another highlight. When you die, you respawn through these mystical portals, which ties into the story in a neat way. It's forgiving but keeps the tension high. One thing I gotta call out: the controls. The game could use better controller support, as some players mentioned in Steam discussions. Mouse and keyboard work fine, but if you're a controller fan, you might feel a bit left out. Also, the flashlight could be smoother. Centering it on the camera would make exploration less fidly. Now, let's talk story and atmosphere, because this is where Eternity's Echo shines. The setting, a deserted gas station in the middle of nowhere, is dripping with tension. The sound design, with creaking doors and distant whispers, had me on edge. Rayne's a compelling protagonist. She's tough but relatable, and the voice acting is solid for an indie title. The story's about uncovering what's causing these anomalies, and without spoiling anything, it's got some cool supernatural twists that kept me hooked. The animations, thanks to tools like Cascadeur, add a lot to the immersion. You can tell the devs put effort into making Rayne's movements feel natural, like when she reacts to DVS or interacts with objects. It's not AA polish, but for an indie game in development since 2023, it's impressive. My only gripe: the pacing can feel uneven. Some story beats drag, while others rush by too fast. Still, the psychological horror and thriller elements make it a wild ride. Visually, the game nails that eerie, retro-modern aesthetic. The gas station looks gritty and lived in, with Route 66 vibes that scream Americana horror. Lighting is a big part of the atmosphere. Shadows and flickering lights make every corner feel dangerous. The DVS, when you spot them with UV, have this unsettling, otherworldly design that's genuinely creepy. Performance-wise, it runs smoothly on mid-range PCs, but I saw some community feedback about minor bugs, like texture pop-ins or occasional AI glitches. Nothing game-breaking, but it shows the indie roots. The devs are active on Steam, so I'm hopeful patches will iron these out. Alright, let's sum it up with some pros and cons. Pros: creepy atmosphere and killer sound design. Unique invisible enemy mechanics with UV light. Rayne's a dope protagonist, and the story's engaging. Solid mix of FPS, puzzles, and exploration for variety. Cons: flashlight and control mechanics need polish. Story pacing can feel off at times. Minor bugs and performance hiccups. Overall, it's a bold indie debut that's rough around the edges, but packs a punch if you love horror FPS games. So, is Eternity's Echo, Patient Zero worth your time? If you're into indie horror, survival games, or story-driven FPS titles, I'd say absolutely. It's not perfect, but it's got heart, and the devs are clearly passionate. For fans of games like FER or Dead Space, this could scratch that itch. especially with its supernatural twist. Add it to your Steam wishlist if you're curious. It's not out yet, but the demo's worth checking out. That's it for our Eternity's Echo Patient Zero review. What do you think? Hype for this indie horror gem, or waiting for more polish? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get the combo going. If you enjoyed this, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for more gaming reviews, walkthroughs, and tips. Check out our other videos, like our best indie horror games of 2025 roundup, linked right here. Thanks for watching. BeBackGaming crew will catch you in the next one.